10 daily habits that make your body build muscle faster, and I bet you don't know them. There are certain habits that can completely transform how your body responds to strength training. And the most interesting part? Most people have no idea that these practices can significantly accelerate their muscle gains. And no, these aren't those habits you've heard 1,000 times, like eat more protein, sleep better, avoid alcohol, or drink more water. These are 10 habits that are rarely discussed, but they might be exactly what you're missing to unlock your maximum muscle growth potential. But before we begin, please tell me in the comments your name and how long you've been training. Habit number 10, activate the parasympathetic system post-workout. You've probably heard about the importance of recovery, but few understand the true mechanism behind it. After an intense workout, your body is in a state of elevated stress, what we call the dominance of the sympathetic nervous system, or fight or flight mode. The problem is that in this state, your body prioritizes immediate survival functions, not muscle building. To maximize your gains, you need to make a conscious transition to the parasympathetic system, the rest and digest state, as quickly as possible after your workout. It's in this state that the magic of recovery and muscle building really happens. How to do this in practice? Dedicate just 5 to 10 minutes after your workout to deep diaphragmatic breathing. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 2 seconds, and exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat for a few minutes. This drastically reduces cortisol levels and accelerates the transition to recovery mode. A study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research showed that athletes who practiced post-workout relaxation techniques had 27% lower cortisol levels after 30 minutes, compared to the control group. This resulted in better recovery and superior gains over 12 weeks. It's no coincidence that several gyms offer massage chairs or relaxation rooms. They know what science proves. Accelerating this transition from sympathetic to parasympathetic is a powerful biological hack to enhance your results. Habit 9. Improve chewing and digestion. You may be consuming the best foods in the world, but if you can't properly absorb them, you're literally throwing money and muscle potential in the trash. Efficient digestion begins long before food reaches your stomach. It starts in your mouth. When you chew each bite at least 20 times, something amazing happens. First, you expose much more of the food's surface to the digestive enzymes in saliva. Second, you signal to your body that food is coming, allowing it to properly prepare the entire digestive system. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that participants who chewed each portion 30 times, instead of the usual 10 to 15 times, had a 12% increase in protein absorption and better utilization of essential amino acids. This means more building blocks available for your muscles. If you tend to swallow food quickly, try this challenge. In your next meals, count how many times you chew each bite. You'll probably notice that you rarely go beyond 5 to 10 times. Now try to reach 20 to 30 chews. At first, it will seem like an eternity, but it will soon become natural, and the benefits will be enormous. For those with chronic digestive problems, consider digestive enzyme supplements, especially before protein-rich meals. These enzymes work as catalysts, accelerating the process of breaking down nutrients and maximizing absorption. Habit 8. Vary the stimulus of mechanical tension with metabolic tension. One of the biggest misconceptions in the bodybuilding world is believing that there's only one correct way to train for hypertrophy. The truth is that your body responds to different types of stimuli, and alternating between them can impressively enhance your results. There are two main mechanisms that trigger muscle growth: mechanical tension, which usually happens when lifting heavy loads, and metabolic tension, characterized by the accumulation of metabolites like lactate. Most people focus on just one of them, usually training always in the same repetition range. A study published in the Journal of Physiology showed that athletes who alternated weeks of heavy training, doing 4 to 6 repetitions, with weeks of metabolic training, doing 12 to 20 repetitions with reduced rest, had 22% greater gains in hypertrophy over 16 weeks compared to groups that maintained only one of the protocols. What does this mean in practice? Divide your training into blocks, or even within the same week. For example, you can do Monday and Thursday focusing on strength, sets of 4 to 6 repetitions with heavy loads and complete rest of 2 to 3 minutes, and Wednesday and Friday with metabolic focus, sets of 12 to 20 repetitions and 60-second rests. Habit 7. Take care of gut health. Did you know that your gut is often called the second brain? And for good reason. It contains more neurons than the spinal cord and plays a crucial role not only in digestion, but also in the production of hormones and neurotransmitters that directly affect your muscle gains. An inflamed gut, or one with an unbalanced microbiota, can drastically reduce your ability to absorb nutrients. Imagine consuming high-quality protein and expensive supplements, only to have 30 to 40% less absorption due to gut problems you didn't even know you had. Many people consume zero-sugar sodas and energy drinks daily, believing that because they have no calories, they don't harm their diet. Big mistake. These products contain artificial sweeteners and other compounds that significantly alter your gut microbiota. A study published in the journal Nature showed that artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose can reduce gut bacterial diversity by up to 50% after regular consumption for just 2 weeks. When you ingest these poisons, your body prioritizes eliminating them before focusing on absorbing essential nutrients for muscle building. It's like trying to build a house while there's a fire happening. The body prioritizes putting out the fire. To improve, start incorporating fermented foods like kefir, kombucha, or natural yogurt a few times a week. Also invest in soluble fibers through vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. They serve as food for your beneficial bacteria, creating a gut environment that maximizes nutrient absorption and consequently your muscle gains. Habit 6. Maintain optimized vitamin D and magnesium levels. Vitamin D and magnesium are two of the most underestimated nutrients when we talk about muscle building. And unfortunately, they are also the ones most people are deficient in. Starting with vitamin D, it's not just a vitamin but a pre-hormone that influences more than 2,000 genes in your body, including those related to protein synthesis and muscle recovery. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that men with optimized vitamin D levels had 20% higher testosterone levels than those with deficiencies. The most alarming part? Research indicates that more than 70% of the world's population has insufficient vitamin D levels, especially those living in large cities and spending most of their day indoors. Without adequate levels, you're literally limiting your muscle gain potential, no matter how perfect your diet or training is. As for magnesium, it's involved in more than 600 enzymatic reactions in the body, including those related to cellular energy production and protein synthesis. A study in Physiological Reviews demonstrated that magnesium deficiency reduces muscle contraction efficiency by up to 30% and increases resting cortisol levels. For vitamin D, expose yourself to the sun for 15 to 20 minutes daily, preferably between 10 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon, with arms and legs exposed. For many, especially in winter, supplementation with 2,000 to 5,000 IU daily may be necessary, but it's good to get a blood test first. For magnesium, include foods in your diet such as dark green leafy vegetables, pumpkin seeds, almonds, and dark chocolate. Supplementation with 300 to 400 milligrams of magnesium can be beneficial for those who train intensely. Habit 5. Do a deload every 6 to 8 weeks. Another topic related to recovery, so you understand how people get this wrong. Many train month after month without ever giving the body a real opportunity for complete recovery. They confuse effort with results, thinking that the more painful the workout, the better. That muscle growth happens during recovery, you already understand. And this is where the concept of deload comes in. A strategic week where you reduce volume and intensity by approximately 40 to 50%. It's not a week off. You still train, but you allow your body to achieve a deeper recovery. The signs that you need a deload include strength plateaus that last more than 2 weeks, persistent joint pain, reduced sleep quality, and decreased motivation to train. If you're experiencing 2 or more of these symptoms, you're probably overloaded. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to science-based information is what will make you progress with long-term health in the world of bodybuilding. Habit 4. Take creatine. Creatine is probably the most studied and proven supplement in the history of sports nutrition, and yet surrounded by unfounded myths and fears. Let's clarify. Creatine is a substance that your own body produces naturally and is also present in foods like red meat and fish. The problem? The amount your body produces and that you get from food is insufficient to saturate your muscles and maximize its benefits. For that, you would need to eat 4.5 to 6.5 pounds of red meat daily. Clearly impractical. Going to the scientific facts, More than 500 peer-reviewed studies confirm that creatine supplementation significantly enhances strength, power, and muscle mass more than isolated training. A meta-analysis published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research showed average gains of 8% in maximum strength and 14% in repetition performance after just 28 days of supplementation. Creatine increases your muscle phosphocreatine reserves, allowing greater ATP production during intense exercises. In practice, this means you can do 1 to 2 more repetitions in your sets, or use a weight 5 to 10% heavier, which over time results in significantly greater stimulus for growth. And no, creatine does not cause hair loss. Studies show no correlation between supplementation and alopecia. It also doesn't harm the kidneys in healthy people, as demonstrated by multiple long-term studies. And just to be clear, I'm not recommending creatine to sell something. I don't have any specific brand to recommend. I'm sharing because it's a supplement that really makes a difference. Habit 3. Progress in load. If there's a fundamental principle in bodybuilding that separates those who achieve extraordinary results from those who remain mediocre, it's load progression. And here's the good news. Progression doesn't necessarily mean you need to add more weight to the bar every week. Many beginners become obsessed with increasing weight at all costs, often sacrificing technique and safety. The truth is that progression can happen in various ways, and they're all effective for stimulating muscle growth. You can increase the weight, do more repetitions with the same weight, more total sets for the same muscle group, less rest time between sets, slower and more controlled execution, and so on. The secret is to record your workouts in detail and ensure that some type of progression happens every 1 to 2 weeks. Research from the University of Oklahoma followed 2 groups for 8 months, one that followed a training program without progression control, and another that meticulously recorded each workout and sought constant progression. The result? The second group had 41% superior gains in strength and 27% in hypertrophy. Habit 2. Do cardio. You've probably heard that old story that cardio kills your gains. Nothing could be further from the truth when done correctly. Let's get to the facts. Moderate cardiovascular training increases muscle capillarization. In other words, it creates more microscopic blood vessels that deliver nutrients and oxygen to your muscle fibers. Additionally, regular cardio improves mitochondrial function, your cellular power plants, making your body more efficient at all levels. This means better utilization of nutrients, accelerated recovery, and even better sleep quality. The secret is in the type, intensity, and timing of cardio. For those seeking hypertrophy, the ideal is low-intensity cardio such as walking, light cycling, relaxed swimming for 20 to 30 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week, preferably on separate days from leg training, or at least 6 hours away from strength training. For those who prefer to optimize time, short high-intensity sessions of 10 to 15 minutes, twice a week, also bring similar benefits, although they require more recovery. Many professional bodybuilders, known for their impressive muscle mass, incorporate 30 to 40 minutes of walking or cycling while fasting right after waking up, not to burn significant calories, but for the cardiovascular and metabolic benefits that enhance their gains in strength training. A practical tip: monitor your resting heart rate when you wake up. If it's consistently 5 to 10 beats above your normal, this may indicate excess stress or inadequate recovery, a signal to temporarily reduce cardio intensity and focus more on recovery. Number 1. Have a goal and control your diet based on it. The uncomfortable truth that many don't want to hear is, you need to know exactly what and how much you're eating to achieve consistent results. First, determine your goal clearly. Do you want to gain muscle mass, maintain what you've already achieved, or lose fat while preserving muscle? Each goal requires a different caloric approach. For mass gain, requires a caloric surplus. For maintenance, requires caloric balance. For definition, demands a caloric deficit, that is, eating less than you burn. It seems simple, but most fail precisely because they have no idea how many calories they actually consume daily. A study published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that people underestimate their caloric intake by an average of 47%. This means that someone who thinks they're consuming 2,500 calories might easily be ingesting 3,700. How to solve this? For at least 2 to 3 weeks, record absolutely everything you eat, using an app for this. Weigh food whenever possible. This step is laborious, but fundamental to creating food awareness. Learn the basics about macronutrients. proteins, carbohydrates, good and bad fats, and so on. Prioritize minimally processed foods such as meats, eggs, dairy, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats. Limit ultra-processed foods, which besides being nutritionally poor, often cause inflammation that compromises your gains. A sports nutritionist can optimize this process, but if you don't have access, nutritional self-education will already produce substantial results. And as throughout this video we explained why you should take creatine, it's important to know that there are some mistakes many people make when taking this supplement that turn it into a poison. If you want to know what they are, we've left a video appearing right now on the screen explaining each of them better. Thank you for watching this far, and may God bless you, my friend.